Hello everyone, welcome to Voxel. So in this speaking video, we're gonna discuss one of the most common part one topics, that is home or accommodation. In this, we're gonna see some of the common types of question that you may be asked. Remember, the question forms may be different, but you will get a general idea how to attempt particular questions and how to understand what the examiner is asking us so that we can give them exactly what they are looking for. So let's start. So you can be asked like, can you describe your current home? Can you describe your home, or can you describe your accommodation? Something like that. So let's see how we can tackle this particular question. Sure. I live in a cozy two-bedroom apartment on the fifth floor of a modern building. So we have told the examiner where I live because he or she is asking me to describe my current home, like where I'm living right now. It has large windows that let in plenty of natural light, and the balcony offers a stunning view of the city skyline. So I have told them the main features of my home basically. Although it's not too big, it feels just right for me. It's warm and inviting. So I have told them, though my home is not that big, obviously, it's a two-bedroom apartment, but I think it is right fit for me. It's like sufficient for me because it's warm and inviting. So whenever I like stay there, live there, or whenever go to my home, I feel comfort. So let's just say if you live in a home, not in an apartment, if you own your own house, okay, you can say I live in two-story building, or I live in three-story building. Okay, on the ground floor we have, or I have ABC type of facilities. On the first floor, these types of facilities are available. What kind of kitchen do you have, or do you have any garden, or do you have any sort of playing area in your home? Okay, what do you keep on your terrace? Okay, rooftop, what do you keep there? Like, do you keep any plants or something like that? So if you have that kind of home, if you live in that kind of place, you can talk about that. Or you can also talk about you can also talk about the size of your home, like it dash, like, is it uh 2000 square feet, 1000 square feet, what type of, or more than that, what type of home or size of home do you live in? So these type of things can also be your answer. I hope it is clear. So if you have any other question, you can leave it in the comments below. Second question: what is your favorite room in your house? Why? So now the examiner is asking us to tell to tell him or her about our favorite room in our home. Okay, it can be any room. First we will look at the answer, then we will discuss two or three alternates. My favorite room is definitely the living room because it's where I spend most of my time relaxing. It's decorated with soft cushions and fairy lights, which create a calming atmosphere. So I have told the examiner which is my favorite room, like how this room looks like. Plus, it's the perfect spot for hosting friends or simply curling up with a good book. So I have told also told like this is the first benefit, like this is the first reason I like this room, and it is also beneficial, or it can also be used as this. So that's why I like this room a lot, or this is my favorite room. Clear? I hope this is clear. Now let's discuss some of the alternates. Instead of living room, a lot of students find it easier when they say my own room is my favorite room. Like if you have separate room in your home, you can talk about that. We like my own room is my favorite room because I have decorated it according to my taste. It has soft cushions, the paint is light, so it feels lot like airy, things like that. Okay, I have like a rocking chair in my room, or I have a bean bag in my room, which I use to relax, or I whenever I feel tired or stressed, I usually lay on my bed in my room and forget about all my worries. So there can be a lot of reasons why one room is your favorite. Okay, you can say I get complete privacy in my room, so whatever, whenever I want to like think about something, like to think about my future, or if I'm stuck in any problem and I want some time alone, my go-to room is my own room. So there can be a lot of options, lot of answers for one particular room. So pick your favorite room in your home, whatever that room is. Describe the reason why that room is your favorite room. Just do not say this is my favorite room and then completely go off on a tangent. Okay, so you have to be very sure that you are describing the room, why that room is your favorite. Moving on to the next question: how long have you lived in your current accommodation? So now what the examiner is asking us, the examiner is asking us the time period that we have lived in that this particular accommodation that we are living in right now. So first we will look at the answer, and after that obviously we will look at some alternatives, what other options or what other answers we can give for this particular question. So let's see the answer first. I have been living here for about 3 years now. At first I wasn't sure I'd stay long term, but I've grown quite attached to the place. uh, The neighborhood is quiet and everything I need is within walking distance. So it's been convenient. So here we are telling the examiner like the time period that we have been living here, like for 3 years, for 5 years. Okay, we will discuss from your childhood after like in a bit. First I will try to discuss this particular answer. So then I told the examiner that at first I wasn't sure that I'd stay here long term, but I have grown quite attached to the place. So I have like made a lot of fond memories in this particular place, so that's why I don't want to leave this place. And the neighborhood is quiet and everything I need is within walking distance, so I don't have to go like to far away places, so it's convenient for me to live here. Now, let's say if you have been living in your home since your childhood, so your answer should be like this: I have been living here since my childhood. So now you should be very careful that uh, just one second. Let me pick something. Okay. So you should be very careful that instead, rather than for, you will what you will say? Yes, you will say since. Okay, but for what particular time? My childhood. It's quite difficult to write like this. Okay, you will say since my childhood I have been living here. So then you will say what you enjoy most in your home, or what about the neighbors. You can like obviously you will not say at first I wasn't sure that I'll stay here for or not, but I have gone like quite grown attached to this particular. You will not say things like that because you have been living there like since your childhood. So you will say, and I like this place a lot because all my friends all my friends are in my neighborhood. So whenever I'm free or in the evenings, we usually play together. We go to a park for a walk, something like that. So you can talk about your neighbors, your friends living in the neighborhood, things like that, if you want to say that you have been living in this particular home since your childhood. So you should be very careful about the grammar here. So I have been living here just refers to the past, linking past to the present. It's present perfect continuous. I hope it is clear. Okay, moving forward. Do you prefer living in a house or an apartment? Why? Now, examiner is asking us to choose, give him or her our preferences. Talk about our preferences, our likes or dislikes in simple terms. So, do we like to live in a house or do we prefer to live in an apartment? So, whatever your preference is, you can talk about that. Like you can pick one and then you can talk about that. Let's see the answer first. Personally, I prefer apartments because they are easier to maintain and often come with amenities like gyms and pools. Okay, houses can be lovely, but they require more upkeep, which isn't really my cup of tea. Besides, living in an apartment gives me access to a community vibe, which I enjoy. So, what I am doing here is I am telling the examiner why I pick up like my option, my go to place is apartments. Why? Because they are easier to maintain and they often come up with amenities like gyms and pools. So if you have lived in an apartment, or if you know about apartments like skyscrapers or whatever you want to call the tall buildings, so you must know that they usually come with their own gyms or pools. Apartments buildings do have these kind of facilities, but they are obviously not available in your home. You have to pay for the entire system. If you want to install gym in your home, you have to pay for the entire equipment. Similarly, if you want to install pool in your home, first it's quite expensive, secondly you will need a lot of space to build pool. But apartments obviously they are quite big, societies are quite big, so pools and gyms are like normal thing for them. Houses, and then I have told them houses can be lovely, though I am not saying that houses are not a lovely place to, or not a lovely place to live. They can be a lovely place to live, but obviously they require more upkeep, which isn't really my cup of tea. So to maintain a house on my own, I would need to spend a lot of money, but that thing is not like, I don't like to do that particular thing. Also, like besides, living in an apartment gives me access to a community vibe. So if you are living in an apartment, you are like getting access to a community vibe, like you are living in a community, close knit community. You know most of the people living in your society or in your apartment building, so that will help you to have some sort of connection with them. You can enjoy festivals together, you can enjoy holidays together, you can plan trips together. That usually is missing in houses nowadays because people are quite busy. Because if you are living in a big house, or in you're living in a like a posh area, so usually you don't talk that much with neighbors. If you're living in a big city, so apartments they have that kind of advantage over houses. Hopefully that's clear. So but let's just say if you want to pick house instead of apartment, you can say personally I prefer to live in a house rather than an apartment, because houses, you can tell one or two benefits of houses and explain or expand on that. Like houses, you can get privacy in the houses. Like apartment building, in apartment you usually have shared walls or shared balconies or dormitories or gardens or terraces, but in your houses you can get your own personal space that's missing in the apartment. I hope it is clear. So whatever your preference is, you can talk about that and expand on it. So next question, what would your dream house look like? Now, examiner is asking us basically a hypothetical question. So like our ambition, our dream, about our dreams. So basically what kind of house I would like to live in the future. Let's see the answer. Oh, my dream house would have a spacious garden with lots of plants and flowers. Inside, it would be minimalist yet elegant, with high ceilings and huge glass doors leading to a patio. Ideally, it would also be near the beach because I love the sound of waves crashing against the shore. So I have told the examiner what kind of house I would like to live in. So I have told the examiner, firstly, my dream house would have this particular facility, a spacious garden with lots of plants and flowers. If you want to expand on that, you can say like, because I like gardening, it's my passion, whatever you want to say, I have green fingers or whatever. So the idiomatic expression you want to use, you can use here. So but inside it would be minimalist. Minimalist means it would not have a lot of furniture, it would not have a lot of, you can say, it would not have a lot of furniture. Basically it would be minimalist yet elegant. Though it would not have a lot of furniture, it would look elegant with high ceilings and huge glass doors. So the ceiling, obviously the ceilings would be high, and glass doors, I would use glass doors instead of wooden doors, and they would be huge, and they would lead to a patio. So patio is basically, you can say, balcony on the ground floor. So if you don't know about patio, what patio looks like or what patios basically are, you know the balcony that's on the first, second, third floor. So patio is basically a balcony, on the ground floor. So you can go to the Google and look up for this particular thing, patio. Ideally, it would also be near the beach. Now I'm telling the location. So ideally, like if it is possible, I would build it near the beach, because I love the sound of waves crashing against the shore. Because I love the sound of the ocean. In simple terms, you can talk like that, because I love the sound of the ocean or the sea, whatever you want to say. Okay, so let's just say if you want to build your dream home like in mountains, you can talk about that. I would like to build my dream home in mountains because of the fresh air, the sunrise, the sunsets. I like to see these kind of things. I love nature, so I would like to live there and spend time closer to nature, something like that. And it would be a serene environment. I like snow. So whatever your preference is, whatever you think would, your dream home look like, you can talk about that. Like my dream home would be a 5-story building, 2-story building situated in mountains or whatever the place is in ABC country, like in Canada, in Australia, in the US, or in any particular city, New York, Vancouver, California, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, okay, Auckland, whatever country, whatever city you are planning to live in the future, you can talk about that particular place and tell them what kind your home will look like and why that particular place or city or country. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Is there anything you dislike about your current home? So now examiner has asked us in the previous, like in the previous questions, one of the previous questions, like what is my favorite room, so basically what I like most about my home. And now they are asking us or asking me as an exam, as a candidate, uh, is there anything that I don't like about my home? Like is there any room or any particular facility or any particular feature I don't like about my home? Let's see the answer, then we will discuss 2 or 3 more possibilities. Well, the only downside is that the walls are quite thin, so sometimes I can hear my neighbors talking or playing music. It's not a major issue, but it can be distracting when I'm trying to focus on work. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the place. So I have told the examiner, though I'm quite satisfied, content with my home, this is one thing that I think, that I don't like, or I believe it's a downside. What is that? The walls are quite thin. So quite thin, basically the sound travels easily through these walls. So that's why I can sometimes hear my neighbors talking or playing music. So many of you will be saying that if you can hear your neighbors talking, I think it's a good thing, because you can, sorry about that. Let me highlight it. So if you can hear your neighbors talking, it's a good thing, because you can you don't have to eavesdrop. Okay, you are eavesdropping without eavesdropping, or something like that. You can like get to know everything that's going on in your home. But it can be distracting when you're trying to focus on work. So if your neighbors are fighting or something like that, and you are trying to prepare for your exam, or you are trying to make an assignment or project that is due tomorrow, so at that particular time this thing can create a lot of nuisance. Okay, you will not like to hear these kind of noises when you are yeah, when you are on a deadline and you have to submit your work, like next day or within few hours. So that's when these thing is like not welcome. Or when they're playing music, so obviously it will be distracting. Or other than that, I have told them I'm pretty happy with my place. So let's say if you don't like anything else, let's just say what can be. Okay, you say you don't like old furniture in your home. Okay, you can say, well, the only thing that I don't like is the old furniture. If there is any particular furniture, you can say the sofa set, old sofa set, old dining table, old chairs, study table. Okay, what else can be there? Electronic devices, or you can say the color of the walls of your room, or whatever the feature that you don't like in your home. You can talk about that, you can expand on that. What's the problem with that? Let's just say if I talk about old furniture, you okay, furniture is old, so what's the issue with the old furniture? Like why you don't like old furniture? So you can say it's chipped, or it makes a lot of, like if I talk about chairs, they make a lot of noise or something like that. They are wobbly, so whenever I sit on them it feels like they will give up any time. Okay, they will break anytime, something like that. You can talk about anything that you don't like in your home. It's perfectly acceptable. Don't think that it's a minor issue, so you don't need to talk about that. And let's say one more thing. If there is nothing you don't dislike, don't. Okay, so if you like everything, there is nothing you don't like. Is there is nothing that you dislike or don't like, you do not have to tell the examiner a particular thing. You can say, honestly, I like everything in my home, like from the furniture to the electronic devices to its location, or whatever the thing you are said what you want to say. You can say, I like everything about my home, there is nothing. And if you want to expand on that, if you're not able to expand on that, obviously what you will expand, you can add, but I would like to add something, like any new facility. I would like to add a few air conditioners, because on the top floor or on the first floor there is like only one air conditioner, and sometimes it's not sufficient during summers. Okay, I would like to add one more there. Or you would like to buy some new furniture for your home, you can talk about that. Well, I like everything about my home, from the design of my home, the colors of the walls, or the other aspects of my home. But I would like to buy a new chair, rocking chair, where I can sit and relax, whatever you want to do in your home. So you can do like that. Clear? Moving on to the next one. How does your home reflect your personality? Now, this is a tricky question. So, these kind of questions are like favorite of some teachers, because when they think you may be giving some memorized answers, they will throw a curveball like this. How does your home reflect your personality? So, what does this question asking us? What is this question asking us? What does this question mean? This question is asking us, like, if somebody visits your home, how would they comprehend your personality with regard to your home? Like, while looking at your home, will they think you what kind of person you are? Okay, we will discuss the answer, then you it will be like clearer to you if you are not able to understand the question. And then we will discuss the alternatives as always. Let's see the answer. I think my home reflects my laid back and creative side. So I have told the examiner what if somebody visits my home and looks at my home, what impression he or she will get of me from my home. So he or she will get to know that I am laid back and I am quite a creative person. For example, I have added quirky decorations like handmade wall art and colorful rugs, which show off my artistic flair. At the same time, the overall design is simple and functional, mirroring my practical nature. So, I have told the examiner that my home reflects these two things about me: my laid back life. Let me change the color. My nope. Let me remove this. My laid back personality and my creative side. So these two things are clear from my home. So laid back just means that you don't want to make a loud impression on someone. You are a relaxed person. You don't want to like show off too much. So you are a laid back person. So creative, obviously you know about creative more. Okay. For example, I have added quirky decorations like handmade wall art and colorful rugs. So how I am showing my creative side from my home, because I have added these two things, it like which show my artistic flair. Okay, so I have added these two things, and at the same time, the overall design is simple. So when somebody comes to my home, visits my home, they will say it's a simple yet functional home. So they like this person don't like to show off too much. He hasn't installed a lot of fancy wear, or he hasn't installed a lot of things that are not required or just to show off. So that shows my laid back personality. Okay, my practical nature. So if your home, that's if you have some, so like if you want to add a lot of modern gadgets, you can say my I think my home reflects my love for gadgets or my love for electronics, because I have installed ABC things in my home. They are the latest innovations that help me to get stuff done quickly and easily. Okay, let's just say modular kitchen or whatever thing you have installed in your home that you think are tech savvy. Okay, you can say it reflects my tech savvy nature. Okay, so whatever you have installed in your home, you can talk about that. Rotating doors, hand free, like you can say my home is fully automated. I have installed voice controls all over my home, so whenever I have to switch on the like motor or any light or fan, I just give them commands and my home does it for me. So it's a smart home. So I think you must have heard of this phrase smart homes. So smart homes are basically those homes which are voice controlled, like from Alexa or things like that, like we have in our mobile phones. You just have to give the command and the electronics will be started automatically with the help of an assistant. Clear? A robot assistant. So moving on to the next question. Have you ever lived in a different type of accommodation? If so, how was it? So now examiner is asking us like from your current home, like in the past, have you ever lived in a different type of accommodation? If yes, then how was it? Let's see the answer. Yes, I used to live in a shared dormitory during university. It was a completely different experience as I had no privacy and there was constant noise. So I'm telling the examiner that yes, I have lived in a different place and that place was quite different because I didn't have any privacy and there was constant noise. While it taught me how to adapt to communal living, I much prefer having my own space now. So I'm telling the examiner, though it was quite noisy. It was there were a lot of distractions, or I didn't quite enjoy my time there. But it taught me how to live or how to adapt to communal living. So living in a community, but I prefer having my own space now. But I prefer that now that I have my own space, and I am thankful for that. It's a relief to finally live independently. So I have to told the examiner my opinion, the like closing remarks for this particular question. Like it's a relief for to finally live independently, because I have lived with the other persons for so long. Now it's a sort of relief for me. So I am happy that I am able to live alone now. So let's see some alternatives. Let's just say if you haven't lived anywhere else, or if you have been living in your home since your childhood, then obviously you will say no. I have not, because like as I told you earlier, I have been living here since my birth. So I didn't get any, or I have not gotten any chance to live somewhere else. Okay, so you can say no to this particular question. It will not impact your band score. Do not think that you cannot say no to any question. So if you haven't had any experience relevant to the question in your life, you feel free to say no. Do not bound yourself, or do not think to yourself that you have to say yes to every question to get even band 9. You can say no. That answer is perfectly fine. You just have to elaborate on that. Okay, you cannot just give one word answer. That's a no. You cannot give one word answer. You can say no, but with elaboration. Your questions should not be like one or two word answers. Okay, moving on to the next one. Would you consider moving to a new place in the future? Why or why not? Now, what the examiner is asking us, again, it's a sort of a hypothetical question, and the examiner is asking us that would I like to move to a new place in the future? If I would, why? If I don't want to, why? So let's see the answer. Absolutely. Obviously, if I'm giving the IELTS exam, if I am looking to if I am looking to go abroad to another country for higher studies or for my career, I would like to like move to a new place. Obviously, I'd love to move somewhere closer to nature, maybe a cottage in the mountains. So I'm telling the examiner where I would like to move. Living in the city has its perks, but I crave peace and tranquility. So I have told the examiner that yes, living in the city has its perks, its advantages, but I like peace and tranquility. That said, I'd miss the convenience of urban life. So it's a bit of a trade off. So I have to trade off some things, like it's something I have to give up in order to achieve something. So you can like it's sort of give and take type of relationship. So you have to give up something in order to get something or achieve something. So yes, it's a bit of a trade off, because I would not get the conveniences in like in the mountains or anywhere I would like to go to any remote area for like peace and tranquility. Or if I want to be closer to nature, obviously I have to give up a lot of amenities that are available in these cities. So that's why I'm saying this. Okay, let's just say if you want to give some different answer, like if you want to say yeah, I would love to move to Canada, or move to England, or move to Australia, or the US, New Zealand, or anywhere else in the world, or Europe, or any other particular country in Europe. Okay, you can say that, and then tell why you want to move to that particular place. So you should have something in your mind, that's why you have picked a particular place. Do not think too deeply, like you have to tell the examiner a lot of things. No, what's the first thing that comes to your mind that, like, for the reason you want to go to that particular place. Like, just say if you want to say, absolutely, I'd love to move to the US because ABC, because of the career. There are lot of tech companies there, and I am an engineer, or I am somewhat like at some particular course or position, and I would get a lot of career opportunities where I can earn a lot of money and complete my dreams. Or for the particular another reason, let's just say what else can be, or for the you can say a living standard, okay, or you can say for the quality of life, I would like to go there. So whatever your reason is, okay, do not worry about that. It should be basically genuine reason. You should not say, I would like to move to America, I don't know why, but it's my dream. There should be some particular reason. Do not say, you can, obviously you can say, but I am not in the favor of saying like this, like my friends are living there so I want to go there. That's not an like a strong reason to move to another country just because your friends are living there. There must be some sort of reason that you can give to the examiner, that is, you can say, acceptable or logical. Examiner can relate to it. Yeah, it's a logical thing to do. Clear? So moving on to the next question. What improvements would you make to your current home if you could? Now the examiner is asking us about our suggestions to improve my current home. Basically, what I don't like, if I have told something that I can improve on, I would do that. If I had the chance, I'd renovate the kitchen to make it more spacious and upgrade the appliances. I'd also add better soundproofing to block out noise from outside. These changes would make the apartment even cozier and more functional. So I have told the examiner, like, if I got a chance, I'd like to renovate the kitchen because I want to make it more spacious and I want to upgrade the appliances like the dishwashers, the ovens, the microwaves, uh, the gas stove, the chimney, whatever the appliance appliances are in my kitchen, I'd like to upgrade them. Second, as I told in the examiner in the previous one of the previous questions, that I don't like the thin walls of my home, so I'd like to add better soundproofing to block out noises from outside. So it's very important to tell the previous thing that you have mentioned that you don't like, because if you are not willing to improve that particular thing, that simply means that you don't dislike it enough. So why mention it in the in first place? Clear? Moving on to the next question. How important is it for you to feel comfortable at home? Obviously it's quite important. Let's see the answer. It's extremely important. After a long day, coming home to a comfortable environment helps me unwind and recharge. Whether it's lighting scented candles or arranging my favorite blankets, little touches go a long way in making a house feel like home. So I'm telling the examiner, obviously, it's extremely important that I feel comfortable at my home, because if I'm not comfortable, like in my own, oh sorry, in my own home, then I must be doing something wrong. Obviously, home is where the heart is. Okay, so if I'm not comfortable, I am not like doing something right. So why it's important? Because after a long day at work, after a hectic day, whatever vocab you want to use, coming home to a comfortable environment. So if my home is comfortable, I like the color of my walls, I like the lighting, I like the furniture, I like my bed is comfortable, my sofa set is comfortable, wherever sit and eat my food is comfort, that place is comfortable. So whatever, so whenever I come back to comfortable environment, it helps me unwind and recharge. So it helps me to relax and recharge my batteries. Whether it's lighting scented candles or arranging my favorite blankets. So if I light scented candles or arrange my favorite blankets, So these little touches go a long way in making a house feel like home. So these are the things that make a house feel like home. I hope it is clear. But let's just say if something else is if something else helps you to be more comfortable in your home, you can talk about that. Okay, so these answers are not the only answers. I'm again telling you that these are just some sample answers for you. You can twist and tweak those answers, add your own information, but you will get the idea how long your answer should be, what kind of information you can give perhaps. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is the last question of this particular video. Can you compare your current home with where you grew up? So this question will be asked only when you have told the examiner previously that you in your childhood you lived at a different place, but now you are living somewhere else. So then this question will be asked. Can you compare your current home with where you grew up? Growing up, I lived in a traditional family home with multiple rooms and a backyard. It was it was great for gathering and outdoor activities, but it lacked the modern conveniences I have now. My current apartment is smaller but much more efficient, and I appreciate the independence it offers. So I have told the examiner that when growing up, basically when I was a kid, I lived in a traditional family home that had a lot of rooms. Basically I lived in a joint family. If you want to say in simpler terms, I lived in a joint family, and my home had multiple rooms and a backyard. So it was a great experience. But as we grew up, the home became cramped because there was not a lot of room available for all of us. So we all had to shift to new places. So you can also talk like that. So that's why it lacked the modern conveniences I have now. Though my apartment is smaller than my previous home, but it's much more efficient, and I appreciate the independence it offers. So the independence that I got here living in my own apartment, like I appreciate it. I am grateful for it. So if you want to say in some simpler terms, you can not. If I'm using this word simpler terms, it doesn't mean you will not get band 7 or more for that. It just mean in other words. Okay, so you can say, when I was a kid, I lived in a joint family, so my home had a lot of rooms. So it was a three-story building, so it had three rooms on the ground floor, three rooms on the first floor, and two rooms on the second floor, and there was a terrace. So I lived with my paternal uncles. Okay, so one was older than my father and one was younger. So my father lived with his brothers, or you can say in simple terms, my father lived with his two brothers. One was older and one was younger. But when we grew up, the space became cramped because every family had two kids, so the space became cramped. So we didn't have any other choice. We had all to shift from our our old home, childhood home, whatever word you want to use. And now the place where I live, it's quite spacious. I live in 200 square. Now my home is in 200 square yard, or if you want to say square feet, it's roughly 1800 square feet. And I have all the modern amenities here, like we have modular kitchen, a front yard, and a backyard also. uh, the colony is fabulous. The neighbors are quite friendly, so whenever I am bored, I just go to a park which is near my home for a walk, and I really enjoy my time here. So you can expand your answers in multitude of ways. There is like no one particular way. So if whatever answer you are comfortable with should be your answer. Do not think about the answers given by other people. Do not try to cram these answers. Your answer should flow naturally. Clear? So on the this note, this is the end of this particular video. But on the ending note, I just want to give you some information. So if you want band 7 or more, and then you can visit us on website, our website www.voxel.org, and you can enroll in our video course that will help you to get band 7 or more in your writing and or speaking, whether academic or GT, sorry about that, or general training GT. So if you are not able to get your desired band scores, you can enroll in our video course. In this video course we will teach you the tried and trusted structures for all three parts of speaking and writing, task 1 and task 2, for both academic and general training. Okay, we will teach you how to approach part 1 of speaking, part 2 or part 3 of speaking, how to approach task 1 of for academic or for GT, and similarly how to approach task 2 of academic and GT. Okay, we have roughly around 70 videos in this particular course. This course will cover all the four modules: listening, reading, writing and speaking. So we have covered all the different, if I talk about speaking, we have covered all three parts along with the four official parameters. Like if you want to achieve band 7 in speaking, the official parameters, you can find them on the IELTS official website or on our website voxel.org. So these parameters are given by IELTS. Like if you want to achieve band 7, what are the four parameters for speaking or for writing task 1 or writing task 2, and if you are lacking in what parameter, how to assess that parameter. Okay, apart from that, you can also buy our correction services, writing correction service, or you can book your one-to-one speaking slot. In these, like in the writing correction service, we will tell you in which parameter you are lacking, okay, or what you need to do to improve your band score, or what band scores are you likely to get in your IELTS exam according to your current preparation. Similarly, for speaking, we will assess your speaking on the four parameters. We will tell you where you are lacking, what you need to do to improve, what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths, and how many bands are you likely to score in your IELTS official exam. Okay, so if you want our services, you can go to our website and you can contact us there, or you can contact us in the comment box as well. So that's it for this particular video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.